Good morning. It's Monday, August 30th. Myself, Chief Harms, and Chief Mitchell here with another update on staffing and a little bit across the district that is going on. We today have 3 new staffing matrix that are in place today. We want to give you some of the background on each one of those and a little update on other activity across the district. One of the areas that we have been struggling with, and we definitely have heard from all of you, is the city medics taking naps and the impact that it has had on the system, the impact on move-ups and covering calls. Myself and Chief Mitchell met last week with the other fire chiefs and operation chiefs from across the region. Our proposal was that we will not do medic move-ups for any reason across the region. The city is going to stay with their medic naps, and that is their choice to do it, but our choice is not to move up to cover their medics while they're napping. We will respond on calls, and if there's a need for a medic, we'll respond on calls. Do you want to give a little update on how long this will run for?
Yeah, so we're going to put this in place right now. We put it out as a 60-day trial with November 1st. I think it's also important, though, to recognize that by putting this in place, we don't know exactly what the output is going to be, and so we said November 1st. If there's something that pops up in between now and then that we need to address, we absolutely will do that. We'll adapt to it. Like Chief said, if there's an incident that gets dispatched, we will respond there. But I think in moving away from doing the dynamic medic move-up system-wide, it's also going to help us to minimize what we had seen before, which was ambulances out of the station, driving around the county to cover. The call would come in at their first in and moving back and forth, and to give the best opportunity for our members that are out there working every day, that are obviously feeling the fatigue behind the last 20-ish months of what we've been dealing with, giving them better opportunity to get some more rest. So it'll be the ability for the shift commanders and for EMS 24 also to watch what happens with the system, to move around if we need. We can do that still. And then out in the Rancho Marietta area with the contractual move-up matrix, that will still be managed by fire dispatch to be able to make sure that there's an ambulance either in Rancho Marietta or on the move-up piece of that. So we'll keep watching it and see what comes out of it, but we did get that out in coordination with the other agencies in the county.
I think one of the big concerns and what we had said was that the shift commanders and EMS 24 will manage it. Yep. If you look at Friday, this past weekend, is that we ran out of ambulances in the system. Yep. And we had to be able to really manage it at that time and bring additional private ambulances into the system, hold rigs over. That flexibility will still be in place, but there should not be any move-ups that are driven by the dispatch center. It'll be driven by our command officers, and we should not, unless it's for complete saturation of the system or complete coverage, we will not move up to cover naps in the city.
Yep, and again, I think it's important, Chief, to recognize this is specific to ambulances. We'll talk a little bit more about the fire that happened last Friday, but when it comes to fire apparatus coverage, all those matrices are still going to be in place for that. This is specific to ambulances.
The next thing was the staffing of Medic 51 and Medic 109. We had put a priority on those ambulances to be in service, and what we have done is put the Medic 51 and Medic 109 starting today at the bottom of the priority, and that we will not brown out the engines in place of Medic 51 and 109.
Yep, so that emergency staffing plan document that we put together last year before the pandemic really got rolling, we went back and looked at it and adapted that matrix to reflect a rotational basis once Medic 109 and Medic 51 are identified as needing to be browned out due to staffing challenges and unable to fill those vacancies. Once we get past those positions on those 2 ambulances, it will go into the 5 stations at the dual company houses that don't have the specialty response of hazmat or rescue. And in working closely with labor, we have decided to share the load a little bit more across those 5 on a rotational basis on each shift. So that's how we're going to move forward with that. And again, we'll continue to take a look at it. We put on another 60-day to look at it again for sure by November. But if we need to make another adaptation in between now and then, we'll go ahead and do that as well.
And I think both of us heard that there's definitely with the Medic 51 and the Medic 109, two sides. One is the impact on the staffing side of it, but we also heard very loudly from Station 50, Medic 50, Station 24, the impact on those stations where the medics next door are going to be browned out and that they will pick up a call or two during that period of time. So again, we're working on that portion of it. And as Adam said, Engine 23, Engine 26, Engine 50, Engine 65, and Engine 106 will all be in the rotation for if we need to brown out engine companies at that next level. Each of those will be included in there across the board.
Yep. The shift commanders will manage that on each shift. So it's important to recognize as well that where you get to on the rotational list on each shift may be a little different. So if we brown out 2 engines on A shift and only 1 on B shift, the next B shift engine would be different than A shift. So that's some complexities that we'll look at and continue to manage through the shift commanders.
Along with the ambulances and the staffing of it, one of the things again that we've heard a lot from all of you and there has been a lot of work on has been about wall times and the ability to try to manage those rigs while they're sitting on the wall times. We've had some support from the LIMSA. We definitely have had now pushback from the hospitals that they feel that some hospitals feel that they don't have a staffing problem and that their priority is their own patient treatment and they feel that ambulances going back in service is not one of their priorities. Yeah. We did send out a message today that is coming from myself and the other fire chiefs to our LIMSA administration, the County Board of Supervisors, elected officials across the board, and each administrator for each hospital. We've taken a very strong stance of the ability to sit and talk has broken down and that we want action to be taken forward for managing wall times. The LIMSA has identified that they are going to order ambulance strike teams, but we're still on a wait and see what will happen with that. So wall times continue to be a challenge for us. I think when we look at things like moving ambulance move-ups and some of the things that we're able to do every single day, that it's our issue and we'll try to do the best we can to fix those. Yep. Again, this issue really is difficult as it is outside of really our ability to control a lot of that on there.
Yep, and the hospital system, like you said, Chief, it's been incredibly frustrating for us in trying to be diplomatic about how we do it, but to hear the feedback from them, it's beyond frustrating. And we're going to work as hard as we can, and we have been. I mean, we've been doing things all the way along to try to address this, all the way up to the CEO level with the hospital systems. But we're leveraging every opportunity we have and every tool we have at our disposal. Please continue to let us know when you're at the hospital, when you reach that 60-minute mark, so we can engage at the operational level with EMS 24 and any of the chief officers to start making those contacts early. And rest assured that we're committed to continuing doing everything from our level on fixing this issue.
The last thing is, just as we move forward, the SPD Academy is still moving forward and is on track. The lateral program is still moving forward. Over 30 some odd folks have taken the next step as far as the backgrounds. Yep. Our academy class that's in right now is still doing well and maybe about halfway right now. Yep. As far as their journey that they are on. The last thing I just want to talk about is on Friday, and for myself and Adam, the response that we had to the 4-alarm fire, the coordination, the work that you all do out there every single day was just tremendous. As that was winding down, we had medic drawdown to 0. You all continue to do a fantastic job of service delivery during a time that is morale is low, a time that is difficult that is out there. But you all are still, when the lights come on, you're responding on the call and you're doing a great job of that response. Yep. And supporting each other on that. And the last thing is just the Caldor fire, is that we were updated this morning and it is still running hard. We said we would support our strike teams that are out there, and we will continue to do that as we move forward.
Yep, lots going on in our system here locally. Call volumes up, and as we said, the challenges we saw on Friday. We had multiple other structure fires going on at that time. Our ISRMs were all activated. I think on Friday our ISRMs ran and transported more calls across the board than all 4 of them than we have had in the past. So things are definitely dynamic, but incredibly proud of this agency and our members out there that continue to step up and do the right thing and make sure that we're out there providing service to the public. So truly appreciate that, and from the bottom of our heart, thank you for doing what you continue to do out there. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. We will continue to monitor our deployment as we move forward. Have a safe shift.